Dignitaries on the dais, ladies and gentlemen. I represent a company which is specializing in online learning. And gentleman, previous speaker was speaking about the accessibility of education to the backward area. I believe the time for India has come for setting up online university. But that is not the topic of my discussion, though that's a very passionate subject for me. Today I'm going to speak about technology for the increasing employability. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to give you some figures. About 2-3 years back, I'm from Mumbai, Bombay. There was an advertisement for 5,000 policemen. And in Andheri Sports Complex, where Michael Jackson and others, they come in for performances. And you won't believe the number of people who had lined up were 5 lakhs. And among them were 55% were postgraduate, graduate, engineers. Recently, State Bank of India had taken online examination, and for 1,500 posts, and about 17 lakh people had applied. Now this is one side, that is from the demand side from the students. The students available are there, the aspirations are there. But from the industry side, I'm also coming from the industry side, there's a huge shortage of talent, the real talent which industry requires. There are various figures, like NASSCOM says that only 5 people are employable among 100 and the rest are not suitable. With this, I'll just start my presentation. I'm going to speak more about it. And we have suggestions that what can be done to increase the employability. And since this topic, the theme of this seminar is ICT role, we believe that the role of the ICT should be applied in increasing the employability of students. Now, this is something which is very obvious. Thanks to Britishers, I think India has got an edge in English. So it's a basic survival kit for today's leaders. And the more you know, in fact, if you want to move higher in the organization, you need better communication, that is better English. Now this is also true. Now India has got trade relations with almost all the countries. Like Gurgaon has got, I believe, more than 500 companies. Multinational companies are right in this place. Pune has got 80 German companies, for example. So, India is getting more and more globalized. So it is very important for our students to learn foreign languages, non-English languages also. It could be French, German. Today the biggest trading nation in the world is China and second is Germany. And they converse in their local languages. So it is very important that the student converse in their local languages. So they need to be taught this in the schools and colleges. Now these are some figures for engineering students. Sorry, I would like to I can't see my presentation, yes. So this is for the engineering students. But this is true for the other undergraduate student as well, BCom, BSc, BA, etc. So if it's true for engineering, it is true for others also. So lack of skills for students to take up non-engineering jobs. A lot of students, 36% have no chance for jobs. These are the figures published by a leading agency, FICCI. 80% lack communication skills. So you can see the deficits in our education system. And this highlights the need for language and soft skill training. And even a taxi driver who knows English, the passengers, they prefer and they do better business. That is what the studies have pointed out. And this is the Indian Human Development Survey. Being fluent in English compared to non-speaking English increases hourly wages by 34%. This is something which, so really, knowledge of English helps people in earning better income. Being able to speak little English significantly increases. Even if you know little bit English, that also increases by 13%, even if you are not fluent. Now, 1 in 5 Indians report having the ability to speak English comprise 4%. So only 4% of India's population actually know English. This is something which is very, very, in spite of we having a legacy of English for last couple of centuries when Britishers were ruling us. But obviously it is among men, it is knowledge of English is higher because of the social situation. And in the foreign languages also, there is a huge scope for students. Now there are, for example, women, they do technical writing, they do, translation work for the companies, for embassies, etc. As an interpreter, they can be employed as a language teacher, as linguist, creating training material in different languages, or creating, for the marketing material, for example. So there are various opportunities for the students, who know foreign languages, including English or French, German, etc. So what should be, the ideal solution should be there, So we have described, some of the parameters for a good ICT-based learning languages. It should teach all the rules of grammar. It should have good vocabulary, maybe 10,000 or maybe more. It should be mapped to global language tests like TOEFL, IELTS, etc. It should have features of voice and accent training. This is very, very important. It should not only teach me the correct pronunciation, but also let me correct my own pronunciation so that I can hear and again correct my pronunciation. So continuing with what the ideal solution is, it should be designed to supplement and integrate the general language, because teachers are very concerned that they don't want to go out of their curriculum and they don't get time to complete the curriculum, so they would like to integrate. So it should be able to integrate with the existing curriculum. It should have multiple levels, so because students are of multiple levels, right from beginner to advanced, so the student can move forward and become expert in the respective language. It should have teacher tool, it should have student tools, so that student tracking is done, student lesson printout facility. So this is one of the criteria for a good language learning for English. But soft skills are also very, very important. And soft skills are related for not just, a person may have very good English or a foreign language, but it should be able to interpersonal ability also is required, managing stress, managing planning, organizing in the organization, and organization prepare those who can do the job and have got very good soft skills. They got good soft skills, are found to be, they are better team players, they're presentable, they are more organized, they are productive also. And what kind of soft skill, a good tool should have? So we have assertiveness and negotiation. Assertiveness doesn't mean that you are bullying. Assertiveness is putting your point, forcefully, but without antagonizing a person. That's what assertiveness is. Grooming and etiquette is very, very important. Creating the right first impression, for example. Communication skill goes without saying. Campus to corporate. The students who are, coming from the college and they go to campus, there is an entirely different life. So they need to be trained that how you are going to be behaving in the organized sector. Customer service. Now, I would like to stress here, coming from the organized sector, people say that customer service is to be taught only for people who are going to face customer. But let us face that any person in the organization, whether he's back end, say in the production side or in the front side, he is also serving the customer. The customer could be external customer or it could be internal customer. Managing internal customer so that the external customers are managed better is something which is required, and this we have found in organizations. Presentation skill goes without saying. Presentation as like I'm giving a presentation to customers, to shareholders, to suppliers, or to any kind of community. Team building is very important. One should be a team player. Stress management, because stresses are there when the students enter organized sector, they are under stress to meet the target, to meet the deadline, and there are peer pressures more than even in the campus, for example. So stress management is also very important, and that should be included in the soft skill that is to be taught. Email etiquette. Now you are aware about the email and social media etiquette. That is something which is a part of the modern day life. Interview skills, obviously, they're going to be in the interview for selection. And social media etiquette, I did speak about it. People are aware, people are posting anything in the social media and then they are regret. Students should be aware that whatever they are posting in the internet, it is being seen by the recruiters. So they should be very discreet in posting and talking anything on the social media. So ideal pedagogy for teaching. Video lectures, video are great. Today the world is going more and more video. It could be YouTube, it could be another video, because video gives you that lifelike situations. You need to test students on video also so that you check their alertness and the grasping what they have done. It should be scenario-based learning. After all, students should be able to relate also with their real-life learning, so that you have to give them real-world experience that is done by scenario-based learning. And it is also engaging. Scenario-based learning is very engaging, so the students are, keep interested and keep learning. This is some of the kind of, some pictures that we have taken, for scenario. This is for communication skills. You can see that one lady is talking to another. Campus to corporate, see the gentleman is talking that the life in corporate is totally different. So if he is better prepared, he has been given training, he would have done better in the corporate. Assertiveness and negotiation, see how this kid is, convincing his father that I am going to now college, I need better pocket money now. So this, we are taught even when we are childhood, but it needs to be it needs to be formalized, and it needs to be much detailed. It's an example of a video lecture. It is on talking about stress and what are the causes of stress. The other thing what we have seen, we are conducting a finishing school course in some of the Pune colleges, and we have found that the students coming from vernacular, they find it very, very difficult to learn English. Unfortunately, our system is that, they are being promoted. They can't even talk one sentence. I wouldn't like to talk about one very leading institution, but they got for a language lab. They say that, they are brilliant, but when it comes to communication, their ability even to frame one sentence, it's very, very poor. They are good in technical skills. If you want them to write project report, they will write, but you will find that the errors are there, and they are not able to communicate. So it is very necessary in the Indian context that we regionalize level of, learning English, for example. So this is one kind of course that has been created. So you need to be talking to the person in the language which he understands. And today we are talking about inclusiveness and empowering the downtrodden. So you need, again, a course like this which will help the student to learn from their mother tongue. It could be Hindi, it could be Marathi, it could be Bengali, etc. So this is what a course like this, we have just given an example, it does. So what it should be done, my brother is in the Indian Army. Mera bhai Bharatiya Sena mein hai. So, you can learn by this, So some language, some testing is there, the student is asked that, what do you mean by this lock? Which one is the tala, ye tala hai, to what, you identify in this, so it is locked. So, you provide a very interactive and engaging experience to students, so that, because you are talking to the students who are not very formalized education, but this applies to higher students also, as we have seen that their English is very poor. And you need to, some of the students who are coming from the downtrodden, you need to train them in written English also, so you need to train them how to write. So you give them practice book also. And one way to train them is comic book. These two gentlemen are on a morning walk. They are talking in English, and it is also in Hindi. So you train them in a very interesting way so that they learn English through their mother tongue. Some handbook is also given, should be given. So I've got this small demo which gives just a little bit of scenario-based learning on assertiveness. Okay, thanks for your time and your patience. Thank you very much.